Hello, everyone. So we're going to do the same as yesterday, except I'm going to try and keep it to about an hour. I was going to be talking to somebody, um, but it doesn't really matter too much when she had other stuff on. So um, yeah, right. Not bad. So how are you finding the energy? It's intense, isn't it? So I've titled this Raw Emotion Moon Conjunct Chiron because the moon in Aries is conjunct Chiron in Aries right now. So what that means is you're either feeling a lot of empowerment or, there could be like salt being rubbed in wounds it. So, you've got to be mindful of this within yourself and others. And yeah, and then definitely that build up of the full moon conjunct Uranus and Algol, which I completely forgot when I was watching it back, I was like, oh yeah, it's basically that is to do with head injuries and stuff, right? But the way that I feel, like the way that it speaks to me, and I've never heard anyone saying this, is I feel it can be like, hi Lexi. I feel it can be like, when people bite people's heads off and things like that too. So I feel like, like when you're talking to people. So just be aware of that, particularly around this weekend, that's the energy. But yeah, I shouldn't really need to say this, but if anybody is around anyone that it has got a tendency to be particularly like violent, um, well, with either words or like physical, like which we pray not, then definitely trust your intuition on that one. Don't hang around somewhere where you don't feel safe because just, with the elements of that full moon. Well, like I said, there is either going to be like getting your head bit off, as in like, through words, or like I said, you could do it too, or you could be in your empowerment. But basically, it's just so fascinating because what I've channeled last night, and I've already done the videos right up until Friday in the membership. It was literally all about being assertive and speaking up and boundaries and I'm channeling that like people are going to cross your boundaries and stuff. And it's yeah, just with people that I've spoke to today, it's just it's definitely in the air. So, I don't think anybody's going to get away scot-free on that one. So, so just be aware of it because it's we can do that without meaning to. I have to deal with that more than most doing this, which is why I say all the time, if you think you could come and do this, then, have a go yourself. Here you get on. I'm sure you will. If you've trained up for it, you will do well, but it can be challenging. So but this is why we have Sage. So again, if you have to assert boundaries or just let people know where they've crossed the line, then you just, be kind and let people know, and then you leave it at that. But obviously, like and then it's when you're dealing with people that are of a similar like mind, then usually it goes all right. But like I've said before, it doesn't always go that way. So, but I pray for the situations that you're in that it does. So, like I said, I sincerely hope you're not having that going on, but I can just tell that people are because even my um friend that I just spoke to there was like, "Oh right, yeah, it's Aries moon." So. Right, okay, so let's shuffle these before we get, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to put I'm going to put the link for the abundance activation, which yeah. I'll put like, I'll update people whether that's going ahead or not, but by the looks of people that were saying they were interested, it sounds like people are gonna, but so yeah, so don't worry. Anybody else that is like, already signed up to it, if it's not going ahead, I'll just send you the money back kind of thing. But hopefully we don't need to do that. Um, right. There's too many words in this. So let's put that there and then that there. Oh, there's still too many I need to take out some emojis. I'll just put Friday. I don't need to put the date. Friday, 9 till 11. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Lexi, if you're feeling a wee bit bored there, you could wait a minute. No, I'll do it. I was going to say you could click on it and see if that's working, but I'll actually just do it on this phone. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is taking. Yeah, it's taking people through to the right bit. Right. So, like I said, hopefully it's going ahead, but I'll update you. I'll update you on that. Right. Okay. So let's plug this in. I hope you are all doing well. I've had a nice day. I had a lovely calming, grounding walk yesterday and today, actually. So. Right, let's shuffle these and see. I'll probably do some, I'm going to do a collective card first, but what spread? Because I like doing this so that you can just see that I'm leaving it completely open to see what comes through because I'm just going to be really interested. In fact, no, I think what I want to do is I'm using these in the membership right now. And I think I do just want to shuffle these because I'm really intrigued to see if the same cards come out. So I'm going to shuffle them because, like I said, I feel that'll really help because someone was just commenting on the membership about how great those cards are. They really are great. Um, Right, so what's a spread that would be good for people today, whether it's a free card one or a seven card one? And like I said, if I'm feeling like, I'll see how I feel when I've finished this, but if I'm feeling up to it, I can do personal ones at the end, but I'll just check in after. What have we got? Something different from yesterday, because believe it or not, this deck's got loads of different themes. It's got shadow, love, well, romance it's called in it, shadow, romance, growth. I think one might be called Money, but it's got different themes. So the one that came out yesterday, that came out of its own accord. So it'd be weird if the same card comes out or another one about romance. But it's not weird because I'm here to help people with love. Self-love and Twinflame love mostly, but love in general too. I'm good at helping people with their relationships. To anyone, I might add. Right, what have we got? We've got a different one. Resources. A resource you're greedy. Oh, a shadowy one. A resource you're greedy for. How you can reframe your greed. A healthy way you can indulge your greed. One way you can let go of your greed for this resource, and a way that you can be generous with this resource. Well, that's juicy. I don't know what cards to use for that though, but and actually, that is kind of in line. Like I said, the full moon in Taurus is about money. So it's about abundance in all sort of forms. Because, like I said, abundance isn't always money. It can be happiness, success. Taurus is also like your well, Taurus is your home, your assets, your money. Like your physical environment is also ruled by Venus. So, and again, you could have some quite nice aspects going on with Venus there, Venus and Capricorn. I know that I have. So again, that's why again you've got to be very protective of your energy. If you're in a really good place, like my vibration is in a really great place now, So it's kind of like I'm being really fiercely protective over my boundaries, So I would really strongly advise you to be as well. So we've all got to be mindful of our own energy, So it means as well, if you're not in the best of places, make sure that you're smudging, clearing your energy. If you are in a good place, protect your energy. You know what I mean? Like, don't take on more than what you need to basically at this time. You can still help people, but you can help people from a distance kind of thing. Right. So, let's pull a collective card. Right. Let's use this. So the Golden Age Tarot, because it does feel like we're in the Golden Age. Right, so, but we're in the last of Pluto and Capricorn only for a few days now because it moves on the 19th. It's like, oh, well, what day is today? Today's the 13th, yeah, like another week. You can feel it. You can feel that the old is dying out for the new to come in. So what would be the best message to help everyone right now, particularly if anyone is coming up against like turbulence. We'll just call it turbulence. Um, oh my God, fucking hell, shit. I mean, yeah, it's exactly what I've just said. The Emperor. So you literally cannot make that shit up. So the Emperor. like, I'm going to read it from the book because it'll have a way more beautiful explanation. But generally, what I'm getting from that is you can't avoid it. I don't think anyone right now can avoid being the leader of your own life. If you're being called to speak up about what makes you uncomfortable, you're going to have to let people know. My advice would be let people know kindly and assertively. But if people keep overstepping your boundaries, you're going to have to let them know again. If people then keep doing it again, it's kind of like three strikes and you're out. That that could be the vibe for some people. I really don't know how that's going to resonate with others, but it's like, you've just got to be wary. There's some people that will kind of overstep the mark and they're not meaning to, and there's other people that know exactly what they're doing. So you've kind of got to know the difference. But yeah, the Emperor does make perfect sense. So wait a minute, I'm going to smile for a thumbnail. The lion could be significant there too, for that regal energy. Tapping into your spiritual authority comes to mind. Right, okay, so very interesting. Right, oh shit, I never put that one back. The four of activations. Right, so we have sovereign cohesion, the emperor, mythical guardian. Oh, what, guys? Again, this is why I always say it's God and the guide speaking through me. So, honor your boundaries and maintain them with integrity. Lead by example. Well, obviously, it's what I just said because I know what the emperor means, but it's again boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. So I know boundaries can seem a bit boring if you want to be wild and, just like, have absolutely no boundaries. But I'm sure if you've not already come up against that in your own life or seen it with others, you find out why you need them. A good example would be, right, that children need boundaries. When you've got children, you can tell when, and I have to say this, like, because I've worked in childcare for 20 years, I can tell right away when there's like literally like no boundaries and the kids are just allowed to do whatever they want. Because probably be kids that are really quite cheeky. And again, there's cheeky cute and there's just cheeky cheeky. And I don't know about you, but like one of the things I say this all the time, but one of the things I cannot stand, because I might be raw and real and swear quite a lot, and but it's kind of like I'm very polite and I'll go about things very gently. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like I don't like when people don't say please and thank you. I don't like when people are ungrateful. I don't like when people, um, yeah, just don't have manners basically. So you know what I mean? But boundaries are important for children. And it's kind of like if you don't put the boundaries in right from when they're quite young. Now, I must stress, I'm not talking about, this is going off topic, but it'll have something to do with it. They showed me the shorts the other day and I was like, it actually nearly made me cry because it was like a freaking 1-year-old or something, right? That wasn't putting their thing in the bin. And the mum was like, so I'm going to put on an accent here, but she was like, no, Johnny, we don't. That doesn't go there. It goes in the bin. And it was like, but she was like holding his like wrist, right? And being like, put it in the bin, Johnny, put it in the bin. And the wee bird's crying, right? And it's kind of like, and it's like, you know what I mean? He's a baby. So, within reason, I must stress. The same way, like, I'm not big on that whole kind of like, when a kid's crying, just leave them, let them cry it out. It's kind of like, it really depends on the dynamic because, it's quite hard to leave a crying child, let alone a crying baby. You know what I mean? So, within reason. But what I'm basically getting at here is if you don't, they're pulling me the picture, it's the wee picture that my nieces drew of like me and her. It's yeah, if you don't put those firm but kind, loving boundaries in for a child quite young, then they're just going to do whatever the fuck they want, and it'll just be chaos. It'll be chaos at bedtime. It'll be chaos when you're trying to, tell them right from wrong. They're just going to be like, I'm not giving a fuck. I'm not listening to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, hopefully they don't actually reply like that. That really would be no boundaries. But it's like that's the energy that you'll get. And it's the same with adults, if you don't assert that boundary quite early on when people overstep it, you'll keep getting that. And I know because I had that prior to going through all the changes that I've went through to be able to hear to help people with this. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but I'm just stressing it and I'm shuffling and the cards are coming out. Doesn't matter whether it's in public or it's in the membership, all the same cards are coming out about being mindful of your boundaries. You're gonna have to assert your boundaries, but also be mindful you're not overstepping other people's boundaries. So it's coming through big time. The traditional image of this card is a powerful stoic leader, someone whose demeanour calls for authority and respect. The Emperor represents the role of the paternal, fatherly protector and provider. This is the archetype of firmness together with fairness, along with knowledge, expertise, and rationality. And that's what I'm saying. It's not nice when you have to do that. I don't like having to do that. I say that all the time. But unfortunately, I do have to, it's not all the time, but I do have to do it now and again. And it's kind of like, as long as you can just say it firmly but kindly and let someone know. And then usually people are like, oh shit, right, sorry. Yeah, I'm aware, and then sometimes it's not like that. And it's just, you're not in control of that. But there's something really strongly coming through about this. When we embody and emanate security and stability, others feel safe and trusting, and that's why they're giving me an example about children. Like, any children that are mal, which basically is, well, yeah, some of my pals kids do it, but it's like just now that would be my nieces that are around me most of the time. Like they completely listen to me. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes they're more well behaved than others, but even on the times when they're probably not that well behaved, they're probably still quite angelic to most kids, to be honest. And it's because like they know the boundaries. Do you know what I mean? And that's without me. I don't raise my voice. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of they just know. You know what I mean? Maybe it's Scorpio rising. People just usually just know, don't push it. But but drawing this card in a reading calls you to be strategic, responsible, and disciplined. Adhere to the plan until it's complete. This card may also invite you to take on leadership role or welcome more of this energy into your current reality. So what I'm really getting from that is you have to be the leader of your own life. Like if you are gonna just find like basically because you can feel it in your solar plexus, like you can usually sense it coming. Like when you can feel. Right, I just can sense like there's a theme arising with different people or the same person. Something's going to happen here. You'll feel it in your solar plexus usually before it happens. And then when something you have to just do it. You have to be like, look, that's quite uncomfortable for me. So I feel some of you are having that experience. Um, Maintain an appropriate awareness of dominance, control, and possessiveness. Also, be careful of becoming overly caught up in strict rules, regulations, and rigid thinking and actions. And I feel that bit is just to be able to, give people a chance because with everyone really that I work, not everyone, but everyone that I work with that are a certain bit of their journey, it's very, very common that people overstep the boundaries. It's like what I've said before about there's a reason why I have breaks from dealing with my emails because it can sometimes go the same way as what it went on the other platforms where people were just there was too much coming through the chat and it got too much. So again, I feel that's why I was saying recently, if I've ever got anyone else helping me with the emails, I'll let you know. But I can foresee I'm gonna have to start doing that because it's there has to be boundaries there too because like I've got clients to work with, I've got my own life and it's like I can't go back and forwards. It's like if you've had a session and you want to talk about something, fine. But other than that, like, it's I need to be more firm about that because it's kind of gotten a bit sloppy again. So the image was created as a response to finding a centre in the chaos, the paradox of maintaining sovereignty while cultivating healthy boundaries. Oh yeah, and they're just saying to me the point of this is that as awkward and difficult it is if you don't do that, right? You're so if you're the feminine, if you don't set boundaries, whether it's friends, family, work, clients, wherever, whatever you're doing, if you keep ignoring things or uncomfortable, guess who else is going to do it? Yeah, your twin flame. They'll mirror you. So that's how imperative this is if you are the feminine. And obviously, if you're the masculine in the journey, it's just to be aware that, you're going to be, I just feel everyone's being put in awkward positions. And some of it can be stuff that you can handle. It's not like, it's not comfortable, but it's stuff that's kind of like, all right, yeah, I definitely need to say something and then you've just got to let go because it's like what I've said before when it sometimes when I have to set a boundary people get butthurt as I like to call it and they kind of go away and they don't talk for fucking ages and then they come back and they're like, oh sorry that just brought that and it's kind of like and then sometimes people are like, oh actually thanks, that's actually enlightened me to something that I had a blind spot on. It's whether you call it people's people I don't like to say it so much as maturity levels, but sometimes it could be that, I suppose, with different circumstances, but I feel with most people I deal with, it's more, it's just kind of like Yeah, lack of awareness in certain areas, blind spots. Like everyone's got a blind spot somewhere, which is why I always stress therapy, which again, therapy is the main reason why I always stress that's the number one thing, because that's what teaches you good boundaries. Um, it is also about dreaming in and supporting a harmonic, crystalline coherence on the planet through community and maintaining balanced interconnectivity where everyone thrives from what they're uniquely and collectively here to do. I can't believe this is talking all about, but I can, but it's just crazy. Having boundaries may seem ominous if we're not used to wielding this power. We may fear upsetting others, which again is the number one thing that I know. It's again, who does like upsetting others? If you like upsetting others, you really need a therapist because that's not very nice. Nobody likes to do it, no matter how like I said, I'm extremely experienced in this, but it's uncomfortable every single time. And do you know the thing I always notice as well? I'm like, it's always the same placements I come up with against the same things. It's like it's crazy. Mark my words, one day I'm going to write a book about all the experience I have with different placements. It's just insane. It's the same repeating things. Um, but they give me it because I can handle it. So having boundaries may seem, yeah, just read that bit. We may fear upsetting others. However, when we assert our boundaries effectively, we may be surprised at the increased respect we receive. Yeah, exactly. When it's your soul family and it's the right people you're dealing with, it's received well. But again, you really can't when we're talking about karmic people or even twin flames in some cases, like depending on where you're at with them, that it can be very uncomfortable. So be gentle with yourself and be gentle with others. The clarity of a well-held container imparts guidance and stability to others who may look to us for how to be in the face of uncertainty. With this, there is a more understanding of what we will or will not respond to. Sorry, Lexi, I'm going to read this in a minute. Communities can falter when there's no awareness of boundary. Oh my God, this is insane. Because this is also what I was saying last night about, I'm very strict about like again, we don't get it a lot. I can't even remember the last time that happened, but when it does, I'm right on it. And I'll have people on here that because like I said, the people that are spanner people on this channel, it's people that I've had the people that get regular Zooms with me that have been like on my radar for years, like as in, very like just yeah, they've been on my radar for years, but actually very closely like for instance, Lexi's on just now, and Lexi knows how I operate, and she knows my values and everything. So it's some people that have spanners. I think there's one person that's got a spanner that we haven't had a Zoom, but it's actually one of the men, and it was needed. It was one of the days where there was a whole load of people, like 800 people or something, because I've done a vertical. But other than that, like it's because I'm very like I said, I've just been seeing it a lot out there on other people's stuff, and it's just so interesting that it came up recently. But this whole thing about um I don't like, when I just don't like when people read other people's energy without their permission. So wherever that is that happens to me, yeah, I don't stand for it. It's like you'll see if it ever happens on here. It doesn't usually because people know that have been watching me, but it's just don't do that. Like I don't appreciate it and I'll nip it in the bud right away. And I don't like when people read other people's energy. It's kind of like why I just said, and I think I said that in the video the other day. It's like I don't mean to be blunt, but it is true, right? When I go to other people's channels, although I'll be hanging out with soul family that I'm close with too. I'm not going there for, in fact, a lot of the time I'm not going there for my energy to be read at all. Like I'm going there, I love to be a part of like prayer and stuff like that. But sometimes I would want someone to read my energy, but it'd be the person's channel that it is. So it's kind of like I'm not wanting other people in the chat to read my energy. So I'm always really mindful of that, of like if ever I'm on anyone else's and but it's different if somebody's like, "Hey, Claire, do you know about that?" Or then fine. But so I'm doing that's just a gentle reminder for everyone because that came up yesterday or the day before, and I just feel that's in there too. We've got to be so mindful of that because it can be very it's invasive to people's personal space. You know what I mean? It's kind of like right, like when I'm going to do this general reading. It's a general reading. Now it might feel like it's a personal one to you, but it is a general reading. So you know what I mean? It's kind of like, and the people that I read personally, it's because they've either given me their permission or they've paid to get it. You know what I mean? So they're aware that they're being read in public. I've said to you before, I'm not a big fan of being read in public, guys, to be honest. Now and again, I'll be like, yeah, you know, I mean, fuck it, you know, whatever. But it's, yeah, so, you know, it's just each to their own. But yeah, again, so that's just because that's saying communities can falter when there's no awareness of boundaries. Like, so if that's my boundaries and I just was letting people do that willy-nilly, people wouldn't feel safe. They'd be like, who's this just coming? I don't even know who this is. And the point is because people come and they know me, but they might not necessarily know you, you know, and sometimes people don't even know me. So that's really important for, because I feel, you know, I'm talking to other people that you either have groups of your own or you're being built up to be an emperor or an empress, a leader. So you really need to take that on board. Because like I said, there's really well-meaning people that will pull people cards and stuff, but you know, it is wise to get people's permission. I don't know, I'm just trying to think. There are some people that have got different rules, like where it's like, you know, if you're going on and you're saying hi, sometimes people do just think, right, you know, you're like, you know, I think if you really didn't want a card, be like, don't read me today or something. So everyone's got their own sort of way, but that's the way it's always been here, is that I always ask, you know, do you want a card or do you want to know this? Otherwise, it's unsolicited advice that I spoke about last night, and nobody likes that. I cannot stand that. That's one of my pet hates. You'll soon find that out if you do that to me. Just trust me. I'll be nice about it, but I don't like that. It's like I say as well, like, you know, I think this hasn't happened for years, but do not try and give me advice. Yeah, about basically anything in my life that I've not asked about, or tap into my energy and or my twin flame journey. Like, because I don't need anyone to do that. I can read my own cards, I can read my own energy. But also some of the places where I go, the last sort of things that I'd said to someone was, I don't want the reading so much. Like, I just want to be a part of praying, you know, like what I do for you here. It's just, I actually choose to do the prayer circle behind behind the protection because of how much spiritual warfare we get around here. So, but I do pray for everyone on the channel too. But, right, so, um, when everyone's given everything at the beginning of a project, they will eventually fall into survival mechanisms or subconscious power struggles as they strive to regain equilibrium and maintain momentum. The key is to create sustainability from the start through clarity around everyone's edges and availability. Oh, I like that. When we have boundaries in place, it also allows us to maintain our energy and power, thus paradoxically affording us more bandwidth for the care we wish to give and what assets can expand from this. Rather than leading from a place of overpowering insecurity, it is better to lead from clarity and assertiveness and be motivated by integrity. When we honour our boundaries, we don't need to put up walls. That is so beautiful. And remember, I shuffled all 78. Well, you know, most of them, there might be one kicking about this, all of them, and that came out. So I can't stress to you, that's the message. Right. And because it's like, you know, some of you might be having uncomfortable interactions like that, let's get some self-love cards. Um, Makes sense. I can feel that I need to just have me and my family in a little bubble and not going out and about this. Yeah, absolutely. Especially because you're in America. You know, I think I definitely feel, you know, it's the with the energy of certain things that have went on recently, it's putting a really weird frequency out there. But again, I have to say, I'm not experiencing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm helping other people with it, but like I'm in a very happy, like I'm in a happy bubble myself. Like, not to bit, but and I feel like really strong. And, you know, because remember, I've just come out my 12th house transit. So, you know, I'm fiercely protective of my energy right now. So, if I am being as chatty back and forwards on the emails from really, you know, this full moon onwards, that's why. Like, I'm protecting my energy. Um, Shout out to my little triple Leo son. He's been very cheeky. Yeah, cheeky in a good way. 1222. Be sure to make your book an Audible too. Oh, absolutely, yeah, because I prefer Audible too. Um, right. What have we got then? Because it's a very strong message, so I'm just wanting to bring in some gentler energy to transmute. Look to the stars. Yeah, again, look to the stars, the astrology. You know, it is to do with astrology right now. It's to do with the last of Pluto and Capricorn. It's to do with, if you're watching this right now, Moon conjunct Chiron. It's, you know, it's really intense, raw emotion. So just, yeah, release. It's, it's definitely, I feel that in whatever way you can transmute the energy and turn your pain into power or empowerment. And unfortunately, like I'm saying, I'm feeling there's just, like I said, it's just so funny. Like I've felt it coming, and it's like I've had other people today saying things to me, and then I can just see how it's sort of manifesting in my own life. And it's like, it's just about, we're all going to be faced with stuff. Hello, Nathan. Nathan! And you're allowed to talk on Wolf, dude. How are you doing? We know it's you. Sometimes the best way to grow is to simply let go. So yeah, let go of control, but make sure you're maintaining your boundaries and sing. Yes, remember to sing, be happy, spend time with animals, call on your power animals where you need the support, make a meal, make sure you're eating right. That's very Taurus, actually. Taurus is food. Yeah, and pamper yourself. Self-care is a necessity, not a luxury. But you see, although she's in the bath there, that's what I'm talking about. Like, boundaries are self-care, Like, it's like when I was saying the other day, like, there's always a video that goes out in the channel, either the short, there's shorts every day, or a clip, the bigger videos, or I actually quickly worked that out too. Whenever I do have low energy, I can just clip some of the videos I've done before, and at least something's going out. But I usually always, have things in place there. So, that's my boundaries too, is that like I don't do my work from the Friday night till the Monday at least, because I do mediumship Monday. But good to have those boundaries. This is my second chat. Yes, I remember that. Okay, that hand has a lotus flower on the card. I just tattooed a lotus flower yesterday. Oh my God, love the synchronicity. Right, so what will we I wondered if boundaries is going to come out this deck too, because I just picked that up and started shuffling. Well, we'll trust it. Let's see then what comes out. So before we go into those questions, what have we got? We're going to pick up on the feminine energy and the masculine energy. So like I said, this can be your own feminine and masculine energy, or the feminine and a masculine in a connection, male, female, whatever. Um, I'm getting ready to put out content on my YouTube channel soon. Yes, I felt you were, Nathan, going by what you'd said. And also that's very in line with, if you watch the video that's in the Rainbow Warriors level of the one I just published today, it was about that. It was about not procrastinating and taking action. So go you. You're ready. But just make sure and take on board everything else. In fact, how weird is that Nathan's just arrived when I've just said all of that? Yeah, watch from the start of the live. It's yeah, you've got to be very aware of your own boundaries and be assertive, because you will come up against other people's stuff. But I'll be here to help you as well. Right, okay, so what have we got for the feminine? Soulmate. So, right, we'll see what that's about. Soulmates. That's a twin flame card in this, because there isn't a twin flame card. So, what have we got for the masculine? Oh, hello, we've got the guy that's been to the garage. I actually thought he wasn't in the deck up. What? Guys, right, wow. They led me to this for a reason. I'm going to have to double check, right? But it's either that is literally his twin flame. So, hello, twin flame unions. Like what's been coming. I mean, it's always coming through on this channel because I'm here to bring in the unions. But that's either his twin flame or it's not, because it's either I'm probably channeling someone's confusion over who's who. It's either the luminosity woman that's his twin flame or the white buffalo calf woman. But I'm sure it's this one. But we'll find out. I'll check. But I call that, if you're new, I call that the guy that's been in the garage, because he's got the flowers in his hand. I mean, forget the fact that he's got a horse and an eagle above his head. It always just reminds me of something that's like, fucking hell, like I need to get something romantic, and the only thing I can get is the flowers from the garage. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I call him the guy from the garage. But right, let's see. Oh shit, that's not the right book. What have I picked up? Six of Earth, Charity, Generosity, Windfall. Oh, well, Windfall's good when I'm going to be doing the abundance activation. So remember that's Friday, 9 o'clock UK time, if anyone wants to do that, and I'll put the details below. Yeah, this is about giving equally too. So again, I feel this is about the chivalrous man wants to come forward, or whoever the masculine is wants to come forward and give equally this time. Well, that came out in the one from last night too. Right, so chivalry. All right, I've opened it up at luminosity. Yeah, it is. I thought that. It is. Wow. The luminous woman is the feminine counterpart to the chivalrous male. Didn't even know I was going to use that deck. So we've literally pulled twin flames. I mean, I don't know if I'll use that as a thumbnail because, people won't know that on the thing. I'm sure we'll get a better one than that. So, but again, see, because I'm channeling, unfortunately, I could be channeling the energy of like, this could be a masculine that's like, oh, I can get better. Like, that's not a nice way to say it, is it? But it's like, yeah, I'll be able to find this kind of connection somewhere else. I'll just try and like move on and find this. But whether you're a man or a woman, and again, I just feel it's coming full circle, being around like, nah, shit, I can't. That's my soulmate. You know what I mean? That's my soulmate. That's my twin flame. It's not happening. You know what I mean? Right. So, oh God, and it's number 21. So let's just let's let's read them all. They all seem relevant. So luminosity 21. When a woman glows from within, she naturally attracts a chivalrous male. So again, what this is saying to me before we even get into the spread that I've chose is when you shine your light as a true divine feminine, oh yeah, of course divine feminine is right behind it. In your life purpose, oh, you're not even going to believe. What do you think the next card is? I knew that's why they grabbed me to that deck. When you stand as a divine feminine in your purpose, shining your light with your boundaries, which is what I'm saying, this is very important to take on board. And again, it's not a coincidence that Nathan's saying that. It's like you have to be aware that when you're following, shining your light, living your life purpose, sharing your creativity, especially those of you that are content creators like what I'm doing. I don't even call myself that, but you know what I mean? I suppose that's what it would be called. You're going to have to maintain those boundaries, like even more so than what other people would, because when you're dealing with the public, it just happens, public and clients, any, so that goes for sort of any business. Um, but yeah, so this is what this is about. But when you truly shine in your divine feminine energy, you will attract your divine masculine, your divine match, your twin flame. Beautiful. Right, okay, so but if you don't pay attention to your boundaries, and you just let people run amok, or you just keep ignoring the intuitive nudge, you're like, oh, that's a bit uncomfortable. I don't really like that. I don't really appreciate that. Then, yeah, you'll be a little bit like this card that needed sellotaped up because my niece ripped it, which I thought was really funny. Do you remember that at the time? I thought of all the cards for her to tear, how funny is it that she ripped the boundaries one? I was like, yes, thank you. That was a message. It was a message for us all. Um, when you're connected to the divine feminine, you become luminous. Your true nature shines from within and you glow. You glow and you trigger other people's demons. That's the other thing, You've got to be aware of that. When you're growing and glowing in your confidence, when other people are in on the same level, you're going to really trigger people's demons, especially the karmic people around you, but really anyone. So it's something you've got to be aware of. The luminous woman is the feminine counterpart to the chivalrous male. They are attracted to one another, complement and support and nurture each other. In this modern age, it can be quite difficult for a woman to find her luminous centre and live from that place because we've fallen into the trap of believing we're supposed to have, be, and do it all of the time. What this usually means is that the woman takes too much upon herself and tries to fill the roles of the men in her life instead of asking for their help. Being luminous requires poise. It is worth the extra effort of patience at first, if that is required. Usually, what is most effective is an adjustment of perspective. A luminous woman asks for what she needs with respect for the other person's time and feelings, then goes about her day confident that her request will be responded to. If it takes a little longer than she hoped, she does not become overbearing or, oh my God, this is what I said last night, because again, it's just them speaking through me. She does not become overbearing or critical. She simply focuses on her own life and what she's able to do, thus creating a positive space for the chivalrous male to step into. Whether we like it or not, the responsibility of going first lies with the feminine, as very few men will continue to be chivalrous in the space of a woman who isn't luminous to some degree. And that is the main issue in the world today, is you've got a lot of women that are too in their masculine, like they're too overbearing and too kind of controlling and not and this is more kind of talking about when I suppose when you're actually together, but you know what I mean, it's like if you think about famous, I don't know, to keep it less awkward, think about famous couples or think about couples, you know, it's a lot of women are in that kind of busy, 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 go, 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 busy, 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 go, go, go. And that's why with most of the sessions that I do, when I track the people in the masculine energy, which are the majority of all the males and females that get drawn to me, it is about like, you know, just chill out, like, you know, drop that kind of defensiveness and kind of like, you know, like just controlling and overthinking, you know, it's kind of like really just depends how somebody's coming at you, but it's too much, you know, and it doesn't, there's no room to breathe for the man to be the man, you know. In the case of like a man and a woman, but again, change it however it resonates. Um, right, so um being luminous requires practice as the feminine helps you to let go of your old patterns of taking over, micromanaging, and insisting things be done your way. You have drawn this card today because the luminous woman in you is calling out for attention, urging you to be graceful, to incorporate some luminous energy into your busy day. Choose one small thing that you can imbue with your luminosity today. Put your request out there and give thanks for it being done. For men, this means that the feminine energy is working with and through you in positive ways. Feel the ways that you can become more connected to your heart and able to express your feelings more clearly. Yeah, so that is absolutely what's happening with everyone in the masculine energy, is you're being invited to, you know, move more into your feelings, especially with Scorpio season right now and the Pisces moon that we're in over the weekend. Right, so now let's read the chivalrous male, the twin flame of the. But that's like so powerful. I mean, it's happened before, but it hasn't happened for a few years that I can remember anyway. That that they come out together like that. Um, so chivalry. To be chivalrous is synonymous with having integrity and courage. Who or what is the chivalrous man and how does he behave? A chivalrous male will face up to the many challenges that life presents and protect the people he loves and whatever he truly believes in. So again, do you see how that fits with? I feel the message, this is quite a, so forget that, I will do that card spread that I read, but this is, you know, whatever's going on this week, it is a huge timeline shift and a timeline jump. And I feel the crossroads that many of you are going to be at is you either stay quiet when something's bothering you or you speak up. And it really reminds me of somebody's personal reading. I can't even remember whose it was, but I remember what I said, and it was like, you're going to know when that moment arises because you're going to feel it in your solar plexus, and it's just going to be like, you know, it's not the same as like what I'm talking about you might have near the weekend. It's not the same as like losing your shit. It's just like, nah, this has been uncomfortable for a bit now, and now that's too much, so I'm going to have to say something. So that's what I'm talking about, you know. But unfortunately, I know that some of you are watching, men and women, regardless of your age, by the way, some of you might not actually be able to recognize that because you could have had people around you that just really did not give a fuck about your boundaries, you know, whether that's friends, families, lovers. So hopefully, you know, by listening to the things that I'm teaching you, you can start to recognize, you know, when you start to get that sort of feeling in your stomach, like it's telling you something, you know, that's why, you know, a lot of psychic attack could go straight for your stomach. There's a reason why when you're physically in people's environment, you know, it's quite wise to, you might naturally put your hand over your stomach because you don't feel safe, you know, or you might do it on purpose because you know that it's like protecting your energy, but it's wise. But I really do feel that this collective message is a lot of the divine feminines, especially if you are out on social media and stuff like that. But it doesn't need to be that, but it feels like it might be that. That it's like, you're out here shining your light and you're irritating people's demons, or you might just be coming up against uncomfortable things. And it's kind of like I feel the masculines that are ready are sort of sensing that, and they're getting the green light to be like, yeah, I need to come in and protect my feminine. And again, I do feel that for some of you, that could be much worse than like your odd having a assertive boundary. Like it could be, like it reminds me when I've done these readings of like when you've got a whole group gang stalking people, or like people slandering and gossiping and making up lies. And it really just depends though, because again, it's like a lot of the divine feminines on the, that are at the bit that I'm talking about, like you're just so much in another type of energy and basically another dimension that it doesn't bother you anyway. Do you know what I mean? But because I'm aware not everybody is at that bit, I have to share that message that, you know what I mean? I feel either way, the masculines are feeling this sort of like natural instinct really to be pulled to their feminine. Um, right, so on a less heroic, more everyday note, he is both a protector and a provider and applies himself to these roles at the levels of family, friendship, intimate relationship, and community. The chivalrous male has a deep respect for the feminine and powerful understanding that he himself is nurtured by supporting the feminine and helping her to thrive. So again, I feel there's a strong message here about a lot of the masculines have been around women. I'm gonna, sorry, it's easier for me to talk about it when I mean, like, again, that's actually something that I'm just embracing more now too, because I'm respectful all the time, right, of like same sex and whatever else. But I'm like, sometimes when I'm channeling it, it really is easier to just do it like that. So I'm just doing it my way, right? And you can just change it how it fits. But a lot of masculine men are around very toxic, controlling women. Like I saw a shorts, I saw shorts the other day, and it was from that series on Netflix, the one that's like nobody wants this or nobody likes this, and it's like the one that he's left's best friend, and it's like it's really fun. It is a comedy, but it's not funny because it's like what a lot of women are actually like, and it's like the women's like she's like, Sasha, hurry up. If you don't get in this car, blah, 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 I'm going to something. I can't remember, but she's basically like quite threatening, right? She's like, get in the car. And he's like really embarrassed, right? And he's like, right, I better get going. And like the one that the whole show's around, like she just kind of like looks at her sister and they're like, what the fuck? And then, the guy, the love interest is like, right. And then what was it she says? And she's like, and Noah, you with your whore one and whore two. Stop fucking about. You know that what's it? I don't think she says you're going to get back with Rebecca. She's like, you are going to get back with Rebecca. So it's like, that isn't the woman that he's just dumped. It's actually her best friend. But again, I know there'll be some people watching this will be laughing. Some women are like that. Like some girls and women are like that. And it's fucking embarrassing. So if you're watching this and you're one of them, please like go and get the support so that you don't, because it's, you know what I mean, it's like it's toxic. It is. It's like it's controlling, and it is. It's like you can see when it's like, you know what I mean, when someone's been like that, where's the room for? And I mean, never mind, you don't want a man to be like that either. It's just it's horrible energy. But it's quite a funny scene. Like I might pin it below because I mentioned it. I wondered when they showed me it, I thought I knew, but that's exactly what I thought when I saw it. I was like, that's like what a toxic karmic feminine would be like. Someday it's like tapping their foot, waiting for you to like come out of like the pub with your pals or something, or like, it's got the GPS tracker on you or something. I hope this isn't, I hope I'm not channeling the situation for some people, but something tells me I probably am. Um, right, so he recognises that actions like opening a door for a woman or offering a lady a seat can add a flourish of charm and style to the way he lives his life, and he derives joy from them. Moreover, he takes pride in the fact that he can be gallant without losing his sense of self or feeling demeaned. Appreciating and enjoying the inherent differences between the masculine and feminine helps the chivalrous male to enjoy his way of being and to be uplifted by the company of the luminous woman. It's like a few of the things I've been saying lately that have been coming through. It's like, you know, there's a real feeling of like the masculines that have moved through the darkness are wanting to come in and like, you know, have fun with the feminine, like just do fun stuff and play again and bring back that sort of innocence or the connection that was lost with all the spiritual warfare and all the other spicy stuff. But you know, I'm not that energy seemed to be around yesterday. It's not doesn't seem to be coming through today yet. Um Moreover, he takes. Did I read that bit? Yeah. Appreciate and enjoying the inherent difference. I just read that bit. By drawing this card today, you're calling the energy of chivalry into your life. Yeah, so I really do feel that. If you're a feminine watching this, male or female, I really do feel you are attracting in. You're attracting your divine masculine by being in your divine feminine, following your creativity, whatever that is, but maintaining those boundaries. And that's what pulls in a commitment and love. Because you don't want the distorted masculine, do you? You don't want the distorted masculine or the distorted feminine, but the distorted masculines have come into a spiritual maturity in that way too, sexually. They're wanting to resolve the conflict with empathy, compassion, love, and understanding. Right, put them back though. Right. Where did I get to? But be aware, chivalry is not just about going through the emotions, it's understanding the subtle interplay of masculine and feminine energies and tapping into the sublime, had to do it, sublime source of nurture, warmth, support, and love that is available from the secure and supported feminine. Yeah, so I feel that's the message that the masculines are not only recognizing what is lust and what is love, but feeling like this strong pull to be around the feminines that are supporting, loving, caring, not going to give you a row for doing something you should have done. You know what I mean? It's just, and that's the thing. It's like it's why I'm still saying that, holding the fact that I'm aware that if you're a feminine, that your masculine has more than likely hurt you at some point in this journey over the years, depending on how long you've been on it. But it's when you realise what this journey is all about and that you're balancing the energies within the both of you, and you've had your own separate lessons to learn. You know, you can sort of see it from a higher level. But you know, you still there will still be sorries that you need to give either way, I'm sure. Um, if you're a woman, this card is asking you, did I read that bit? Yeah. If you're a woman, this card is asking you to look at the ways you could allow more chivalry into your life and encouraging you to look for the chivalrous qualities of men around you. When a man does something chivalrous, gallant, or polite for you, thank him and let him know that you notice the chivalrous quality. Notice I went on about the manners thing before I even pulled that card. So it's totally in the air. Yeah. A compliment such as this will surely motivate him to behave in this way again in the future. Yeah, because it's kind of like, right, if you've got the choice between somebody that's being a distorted masculine, that's being rude, cheeky, not respecting your boundaries, and not protecting you against, well, yeah, just, yeah, not protecting you against the fuckers of the world, because there's a lot of them, then who are you going to choose? The distorted masculine or the chivalrous masculine? Because this is like just like the equivalent of the divine masculine, who's kicking about in this deck too. You know what I mean? Um, right, so, and like I've said before, I feel a lot of the feminines like, I'm fucking choosing myself. I'm not choosing either of these fuckers. Until she's like, I'm channeling the energy. Until my genuine divine masculine comes in and matches my energy and realizes that they're good enough, they've always been good enough. But I'm happy that you're doing better for yourself and happier within your life and loving yourself. The divine feminine is just going to keep choosing herself. The divine feminines are not the people that like go off for like, oh, I'm just going to go off down soulmate avenue, or I'm going to get a kingdom spouse because I've renamed soulmate's kingdom spouse and I'm calling it something different. No, because like I've said on this channel, kingdom spouse is the same as twin flames as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, the true divine feminine chooses herself until your divine match appears because it's your own energy. It's your own yin yang energy. So be wary of anybody else saying any different. But again, yeah, the sacred woman. Because again, remember that's one of my main guides, the buffalo calf woman, which is also about the gratitude and the energy around money. There is wild power and sacred divinity that must be respected by both men and women. I'm going to read this because I love this. The Native American Indian legend of white buffalo calf woman is closely connected to. So again, I think because that was coming through very strongly, I feel that's really going to speak to some people that you've definitely had experiences where somebody's not come at you correctly. That's a bit posh, but I didn't say it like that. And now it's like it could. This doesn't feel like two different people. This feels like somebody that treated you. This almost feels like somebody that's treated you like you're nobody special. You're just one of many. Like, sorry, they're coming out harsh, but it's very Aries moon. But it's like somebody could have treated you like you were nobody special, when actually you're very special. And it's like, because like I said, that's his twin flame. But they don't look like it is quite funny. I don't know. They do look like a funny pairing, but it's like it's the same. That's what they're saying. It's the same person that maybe didn't treat you how you deserved, turning up again for a second chance. That feels like a direct message. Um, but equally, it could be for some people, it could be that that's somebody that's come at you distorted that might be coming at you distorted again. So pay attention. You know, it feels like that's for masculines and feminines. Like this could be karmic energies coming at you. Like, hey baby, how you doing? You know what I mean? 3 o'clock call and all that. I don't know. Does anybody say that? I don't know where that came from. Somebody must say that. But it's like, no, this person's coming at you correct. I don't know why I keep saying correct. Maybe it's correct. Yes, the Native American Indian legend of the white buffalo calf woman is closely connected to the concept of the divine feminine. Although it's more extreme than real life, her story does send an important message. So listen up, and like I said, this is one of my main guides, but this is about money too, it's about being grateful. In the legend, white buffalo calf woman annihilates a man who thinks he can simply embrace her and claim her like a piece of property. Can you see why it's one of my main guides? That's why I'm good at teaching people don't talk very shite. Without being that toxic, controlling woman shouting, you know, especially not on behalf of your friend. I mean, like I said, it is a funny example because it's just yeah, it is what a lot of women are like. The man who senses her divinity and wild power is spared the same fate because she can see that even though he holds his bow and arrow up to her in fear, he respects her power. So it's all about boundaries again. This is coming all back down to boundaries again. On returning to his tribe, the surviving warrior does as she requested and organises a feast to celebrate her impending arrival. In return, she teaches his tribe sacred rituals and bestows important forms of abundance upon them. Hello, have you seen what people have been saying? I am definitely one that brings abundance to people. An abundance of miracles, sometimes that miracle is money. White buffalo calf woman brings an important reminder to us today of the potentially destructive forces that are available when the feminine is treated as trivial. In modern life, this applies to both men and women, meaning that women must be prepared to value themselves and act upon this if they want to be respected by their male counterparts. White buffalo calf woman did not play games, make idle threats, or pretend to be something she was not. She did not compromise herself or her integrity for mere physical security or a life that was less fulfilling. And by annihilating the disrespectful, and actually that's really important, right? Because a lot of the distorted feminines will just shack up with guys because they've got money. They don't even love them. A lot of them don't even fancy them. You know, that's why you've got some people that live in the same house that fucking hate each other. Do you know what I mean? Let's call a spade here. I certainly am on an Aries moon. But it's like that's the women that seek out guys that have like, I think he's got a good job, or he's got a lot of money, or he's going to be able to take care of my kids from someone else, or you know, all these kind of things. Which you know, you do have to look for somebody that's going to be a provider, but doing it like targeting people and doing it to take advantage, that's toxic. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, no, basically. But opposed to this is describing a divine feminine that would actually like struggle and not get that safety and security because they'd rather choose their own like self-love and happiness. And that's why look, I'm really proud to say that. It's like I say it all the time. I would so much rather be alone than just be settling for somebody that's in distorted energy just to not be alone. Like fuck that. I'm a divine feminine. that has worked very hard to be in unconditional love with myself, which, this is why I say this all the time. There's not many people on the planet, let alone on YouTube, that are in unconditional love with, in true inner union. And the way you'll see when people are in inner union is they'll be able to do the hard stuff too. They'll not just be people pleasing, they'll be able to set the boundaries where needed too to attract in your masculine. It's hard work. It's hard work. Keep at it. If you're at it, keep at it. So yeah. She did not compromise herself or integrity for mere physical security or a life that was less fulfilling. By annihilating the disrespectful warrior, she made it clear to all others that her power was not to be doubted. In modern life, this is played out in the way a woman treats herself and allows herself to be treated. So basically, that's like if you're going to allow somebody to come in and out your life and treat you like you're just one of many, because I can't stand it. Again, it's why I've got some of the cards that say third party. I can't stand it. But I do have to say it now and again if I read it, mostly if I read it on a card. But it's kind of like if you're in a situation where you're quite happy just being somebody's bit on the side or a side piece or whatever, like have more respect for yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like because somebody's never gonna like, especially basically I'm not going any deeper into that, but you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not going to end well. And that's why I always stress. If anybody has been out there painting me to be anything other than what I am, which is somebody that says, end the things you're unhappy with before you start the other things with twin flames. That's not a healthy connection if you're going sneaking about and doing all that shit. Twin flame or not, it's not healthy. It's not fair. You wouldn't want it done to you. And I feel these are the people that get karma slapping them back in the face later on. Um, when a woman truly respects herself and acts upon her feelings, men will naturally respect her or leave her alone. When you call white buffalo calf women into your life, she will help you do away with self-sabotaging behaviour, which yes, I help people with, and I'll help you do that on the membership even more, and help you to have courage to do what you know you need to do, which in this case is what I'm saying, is you have to have self-respect. And see how self-respect isn't always just about you and your love life. It's about anyone. If you feel like you're being disrespected, you're gonna have to let people know. And you can do it in a kind way. Yeah, look, honor your loved one and you will notice your relationship becoming stronger. And the way you honor your loved one is by honoring yourself. You deserve love, you're lovable. And it's just so interesting that my hands went to that deck because I didn't know I was going to use that deck, but it makes sense. Yeah, but I feel they're coming out together because I feel I'm talking to the twins that are at this point. So again, not everyone's at this point, but some of you watching are, is you're actually shining your light, which does unfortunately irritate people that are not on the same level. But again, like I say all the time, rather than being envious and jealous and triggering people's demons, you've got to kind of work with your own shadow and integrate that so that you can be educated and learn from the people that are out there shining your light, whether it's male or female. But for the people that have done this, I feel you've got a lot of passion coming your way. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So don't let anybody burst that happy bubble, whether you're male or female. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, which is this twin flame union that is coming in for some people, or that's about the inner union. Wow, right, powerful message. Right, oh yeah, because it's already, I was basically going to go. So, right, fuck's sake, how am I meant to get through all them? A resource that you're greedy for. Let's use this deck. I'll just kind of run through it quickly. What's a resource that somebody's greedy for? Whoever needed this message. It's coming through very strong. So sorry, not sorry. It's Aries moon. I'm always very passionate. It's just again, and Aries is about being assertive. Aries moon. So coming through very strong. What have we got? But I feel it is because a lot of the masculines in particular are in. I feel you're in places where you're actually going to have to basically do this. You're going to have to be like, no, I've had enough. Because that's what I channeled last night, and that's what seems to be in there. What's a resource that you're greedy for? Nobody's going to be like, yeah, this is me. Ancestors, historical connections and purposes. Well, give us some more. So the ancestors are helping you with something that you feel like more, more, more. I need more of this. maybe I feel it's just money because we're coming up for the full moon about money. I feel this could be that if you're overly focused on material things and gaining more money, then I feel the ancestors are trying to get you to, and including me showing up here, because like I said, White Buffalo Calf Women's an energy I work very closely with, and it's about, yeah, stop doing that. If you keep focusing on money and you're not focusing your priorities on love and being there for one another and being there for community and kindness and gratitude, you're going to be sorry. Thank you, God, for having my back. Look, this one came out in the membership. Heartfelt gratitude, soulful appreciation. But look at the balancing of the butterfly on one side and then the coins on the other, right? When I said that. So that's the resource you're greedy for. Rather than focusing on the transformation, some people are overly focused on the money. So just be very wary of that within yourself, because if you're overly focused on the money, you're missing the point. Especially if you're in the same kind of fields as I am, like nobody does this for the money, trust me. Because even when you are getting paid well, it's hard going. You know, it's the further you go up. Oh, and also because we pulled the Emperor, the further you go up in your growth, the more responsibility you've got as an emperor, you know, or the equivalent of the emperor, which is the empress, you know. Um, yeah, so again, make sure that you're staying in gratitude. Your ancestors are trying to keep you in line of what matters. Right, beautiful. How can you reframe your greed? Gratitude. Past life guides, karmic lessons, present assistance. What I feel that's about specifically is how you can reframe your greed is have a past life regression with me. I'm joking, you can go to anyone, but I do past life regressions. Have a past life regression and find out why you're so overly focused on money. Like, where does this come from? Like, maybe you were like somebody that just like everybody fell at your feet and, you know, you were adorned in coins and jewels and fanned by your maids, I don't know, do you know what I mean? Or if you were a woman, you were like a Greek goddess, whatever, something like this, you know. But you know, dive into your past lives and see what that's about because it could be a karmic lesson that you're just stuck repeating. Wisdom, inspiration, Akashic records, or get a reading to look into your Akashic records, which is basically what I do all the time too. So I can do either of these things for you if you're guided to my stuff. But yeah, just basically you can reframe it by looking into your Akashic records or your past lives to see where that's coming from, because it'll be different for different people. So a healthy way that you can indulge in your greed. So, and I feel that's about, because I feel this is talking about money, but just bear in mind, this could be talking about anything. A healthy way you can indulge in enjoying your money is, you know, getting a wee holiday, you know, getting a weekend away, getting a couple of weeks away, a week away, treating yourself to, I don't know, a nice day out with your friend or your lover, or you know, taking your kids to a fun place where they've wanted to visit, that, you know, basically spending your money however you want to spend it. But that would be a healthy way to indulge in the hard work that you've put in to earn that money, you know, buying something nice for yourself. But let's see what comes out. Yeah, joy. Look at that. I love that. Joy, blessings, intuition. Yeah. You know, like, and also 15's the devil. The devil is like material possessions, but in this case, because it's not the tarot, but I know what they're saying. It's like, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's kind of like how all the bloody sexual energy that was coming through last night. You know, sex isn't a bad thing either. Like, it's a fucking great thing with the right person. But if you're doing it with too many people, you're taking on everybody's trauma and shitty energy and entities and God knows what. And it could take you a long time to clear that shit. You know what I mean? And a good place to start would be to book a session with me, and I could also clear that energy from you. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you're taking on a lot more than you bargained for. But I feel in the case of this, it's about, you know, the way that you can indulge in something you've worked hard for is by enjoying yourself. So, you know, don't be so serious and have some fun. Personal guide, guardian angel, spirit family, and I really, 38 could be significant too. And I really do feel, you know, your loved ones in spirit, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, you know, any kind of like energies that you feel connected to, they are supporting you. with I feel this is like really speaking to people that you might be very Capricorn about things. Like you've got a lot of money, but you hoard it and you don't like kind of spend it on yourself and you're kind of like saving it away for a rainy day. Like I feel, and believe me, that isn't a lot of people I work with, and it's certainly not something I need here, but it's kind of like, you know, there's I basically I feel I'm speaking to there's some people that need to rein it in, and you'll know if that's you. Some people need to rein in the spending and start saving, and you can still enjoy yourself, but maybe don't overindulge with stuff like that. And some of you need to it feels like I'm talking to twin flames when it's like, you are one extreme to the other. Like you need to meet in the middle if this is yourself, or if you are with your person, you'll balance, if I'm talking to twin flames, you'll balance that out in one another. But it feels like, a mixture of people that are needing to hear, like, if you are somebody that's like not ever spending the hard-earned cash that you're making, it's time to do that. Maybe it is time that you have a holiday. Maybe it is time that you do something nice with the people that you love. Um, but like I said, if people are overly greedy and more, more, more. And well, that's kind of when people fall into being a workaholic and, there's never enough money coming in. But this can sometimes be the same people that, spend all their days working, making all this money, and then like sit at the end of the day feeling miserable and alone. And then that's when people lead into casual things to like, just suit your devilish toxic kind of wants and needs, and it'll be a repetitive cycle. But again, it kind of reminds me, like, I don't know why, but they were talking about it last night. Like, how sad is it that that guy out of One Direction, he did not fall, but you know what I mean, apparently fell from he didn't fall from the window, but you know what I mean, it's like he's like, what, he would have been like a millionaire. I don't know, but he had a lot of money, probably was a millionaire, you know what I mean, he was part of One Direction. But it's kind of like, look at how sad that's ended. Like a young guy, he was only like 30 or something, and he had a son, and he's not here anymore. What was the point of it all? You know what I mean? He reached that level of success with all that money to meet his fate like that. Because we all know why that happens. It's because when you're part of that world, it doesn't ever end well for a lot of people. Anyway, come away from that. Um, Shamanic healer, cleansing attunement. Look at what I was just talking about. This is what we're in the cleansing now. This is reminding me of why the very reason why I'm sitting here and why I show up all the time. It's the Hopi prophecy. We are in the great cleansing. You know what I mean? Like we're in the Pluto and Capricorn. We're in the times of, the toxicity and the greed and the focusing on the wrong things, and it's all being cleansed. So don't be surprised if you're going through a purge, or like, throwing up or whatever other. Like I said, when you get your energy cleared by a true shamanic healer, it's got to come out somehow. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's for you to know and us to wonder. But if you've had a session with me, you'll know what I mean. Or any shaman that's cleared your energy, it does. Yeah. But I feel it's, the energy coming in is very strong. One way you can let go of your greed for this resource, I think that actually just answered the question before I asked it, but we'll get another one. So one way you can let go of your greed for more money is see a shamanic healer, um, to bring you back into your heart center, you know. Prosperity, abundance, success. Yeah, because it's like what I'm saying, like you can still enjoy your success and your prosperity, but when it's more in balance and it's not focused on from a greedy point of view, you'll actually, you will be blessed with more than you could ever imagine. I actually feel this is about the divine inheritance coming in for divine feminines on their own, but also divine unions, like, twin flame unions, divine feminine, divine masculine together. Like this is about, oh yeah, and remember that is the abundance activation on Friday. Like it is that prosperity is coming in when you align your masculine and your feminine and you attract in your twin flame, you will attract in a lot of prosperity. Just a lot of good shit happening. It'll probably be already happening to you actually. If you're in that energy, like you said, and that's what I'm saying, like abundance isn't just money. You get in the feel it, get in that feeling space first, and all this other good stuff will start happening to you. But that's why you've got to be really protective of your energy. So just be aware of anybody that's trying to bring your energy down or put you in a weird place when you're not in one. You know what I mean? Like, because some people do it on purpose and some people don't know they're doing it, but it's not their responsibility, it's your responsibility to recognize it. Um, a way you can be generous with this resource. And that's the last question. And look what I just said. Thoughts and vibrations, resonant choices, signature signals. So what this means to me is it's like you've got a choice. You've got a choice every day which wolf you feed. Are you going to feed the wolf that is your light side, or are you going to feed the wolf that is your shadow? So basically, when you come up against people that are trying to trigger you, or trying to upset you, or trying to anger you, or even more complicated, when people aren't trying to do that, but they're not being mindful of the things they're saying, and it's just it's kind of like sloppy, messy energy, like that's why I talk about boundaries so much. You have to take personal responsibility to be like, hey, no, I don't I don't appreciate that. Sometimes that can look like not responding to a text, not opening an email, not answering the call, it's up to you. But yeah, you've got your own soul signature and protect your energy at this time. Protect your frequency. If you're in a high vibrating frequency, protect it. Especially, yeah, look, conscious steps, considered action looking forwards. That's the feminines that are ascending and moving forward from anything that kind of pulls you out of that high vibrating energy. Just keep taking those conscious steps forward. Away, look at this, away from attachments, longing, desperation. Now that's really interesting because, oh my God, like, wait a minute, I'm going to have to show you. There's cards sitting over there, and one of them actually says desperation. I was just sort of tidying up the cards, and I just decided to shuffle, and these are quite dark ones, but it must be because we're in shadow season, do you know what I mean? Look, so whatever this means to anyone, we've got the very first card was desperation. So there's something about be very wary of people that are coming across in this sort of desperate energy, or especially if it's any karmic energies around you that are like, pick me. That's why you call it a pick me, but like, pick me, because it's kind of like that's not somebody that's filled up their own well and attracting in a divine counterpart, is it? It's somebody that's like, oh, I can't do this myself. I need to latch on to somebody else no, you want to be strong in your own center and attract another equal person that's that's fair and it's balanced. Six of Pentacles that I pulled out earlier. But this can also just be anywhere where, because that's talking about negative energies and entities and attachments, is exactly what I just said. If you are in this frequency, which you'll just know if you are, if you're in this energy of, you know what, the worst is actually over for me. Like, even if I get bad news or this or that, I don't feel like it's actually going to affect me like it once would. Um, then don't let other people pull you into whatever they're in. Because I feel there's a lot of that just now. You can help other people, but don't be pulled into it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, desperation on two cards, that's very strong. Oh my God, because look what's behind it. Up from the depths, releasing difficulty. So yeah, so just look what's behind that. So just be very wary if you are a shamanic healer like myself or a healer, because you are needing it, you are more than likely being called to help people, release these attachments, but just make sure they're not pulling you down into it. So again, I'm sure you do know that because I certainly know how to do that because I've been doing this for a very long time. But that message is coming through. Empowerment, stand in your empowerment. Know that when you stand in your empowerment, it does trigger others. Um, Drama. There's people looking for drama right now. On a full moon, there always is. But a full moon conjunct Uranus, conjunct the algol, which is about head injuries quite literally. And I feel it's also talking about people biting your head off. Just if you want, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of hunker down this weekend. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, Concealment. Yeah, there's things being concealed. There's things that you don't know about. There's things that are maybe there's things in people that are showing up one way and they might be concealing things, you know. So just be wary of that. That it's like what keeps this message keeps coming through about they live. Like however that means to you. You know what I mean? Just not everybody is who they say they are. Not everybody's genuine, not everybody is who they say they are. Right. Discernment. So I think I will just end with one of these. So this was what it was, guys. And I will see you tomorrow. I might actually, I was going to say I might hang out in my jammies. Nah, I'm going out for my walk and that, so I will be. What day's tomorrow? Thursday. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow to do the same thing. So yeah, so let me know if you're thinking about doing the abundance activation, then yeah, get in touch, let me know. Email if you're not sure about whatever. And like I said, if anybody has already paid for it, don't worry, I will absolutely reimburse you like if it's not going ahead. So um and I just go with the flow because sometimes, to be honest, like see when these things don't go ahead, I'm like, right, well, that's not meant to be then. But we'll just see because I if that's not going ahead, then I'd be holding the circle as part of the membership anyway. But I'd like to do the abundance activation because there seems to be all this stuff coming in about money. So if you're wanting to attract money, which is really funny that that one came out. Oh, and it is a shadow card. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit triggering the whole greedy thing. Right, what have we got? What's a card? Now, I don't know why, and before I pick these up, I think if it doesn't come out, I'm seeing my third eye, that card that says not for you. So I feel that's going to tie in somewhere for whoever that makes sense, you know, that it feels like maybe some of the masculines that are like, yeah, this isn't for me. Like what I once thought was important isn't important, whether you're male or female. But this can also be if you're a feminine as well, like, you know, my priorities have shifted. What once was feeling like the end of the world to me it isn't now. And oh, I said that. I don't know what weird like I said, it's a weird energy. Right, what have we got? A leg up. So I read it from the book, but I feel it's like, yeah, observer. I feel that's what they're saying here, right? It's like your guides, angels, ancestors, loved ones of spirit, power animals, whatever you feel connected to. They're trying to give you a leg up, like they're trying to help you with something. So if you're being overly focused on money or overly cautious, and you know, it's kind of like it feels like, right? There's two messages. If you're being overly focused on money and worried about it, do something fun, lighten up, attract in the energy, you know, get in that feeling state. Because you're falling too much into the old world that's crumbling, the fear energy. Um, but if you're being like too like overindulgent and too greedy and it doesn't even feel like greedy, it feels like cautious, like you know, like hoarding, like kind of um there's a need to sort of lighten up and spend some of your hard-earned cash on yourself, whatever that means. Like that, I just feel like someone needs to spend their money on themselves. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but that's coming out. So and yeah, but observe the drama. Don't get pulled into the drama where possible. Yeah. Oh my God, look, between worlds and new life because it's in reverse though. This is the masculines that are between. So whether you're male or female, I'm just going to say person because I feel this can be people that aren't twin flames too. Like you're in between worlds right now. You're in between the old world that is dying and the new world that is being reborn as we've literally got new life. And this is what I mean about if you are in these new earth frequencies, be very wary of the people that are pulling you into that energy. It's happening. I can feel it. That's why it's like I can feel it in my energy. Right. And this is why I stress sage after everything you do. I will certainly be doing that. I've just opened up at the fates. Yeah, fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change and knowing what those things are. There's a lot of just fated and destined changes going on right now, and it's very intense. Um, come to the edge, that's about taking a leap of faith. Right, can we just find the card? Because I want to. I want to get off. Right, 34. But my God, I think the message is protect your boundaries and be aware of others' boundaries. Right, so receiving help, oh God, it's guys, I'm just the messenger, right? I can't stress that. It's another one about boundaries. This is just fucking mental. Receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. But isn't that interesting? Because I did actually say in this live that I was already getting the nudge and all the signs and synchronicities that, like, yeah, I need to get somebody to help me in my emails again because they're totally full, but B, I don't want to get pulled in to be talking back and forwards to people on the emails too much too, because it's just a bad habit. I can't do that, you know. So for anyone that needs to hear that, just so you're aware of that, it's like other than what I've said, I can't, you know, I'll always be polite and will reply, but I can't sort of go back and forwards like that. That's really what, you know, doing the sessions are about. Um, you've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. And that's like when I said, like, you know, I can help people attract money, but people actually attract opportunities a lot through me by me actually being the person that shows up when they needed help. You know, they needed an answer, they needed a message. So just look out for abundance coming to you. It's not always in the form of money. It can be in the form of a helpful, healing person, which, you know, could be me in the case, or it could be like somebody else that, you know, like I can think of loads of times where I was feeling like shit and then I just go on my YouTube, or well, it would be my YouTube in the last few years, but you know what I mean? And I'm just kind of, and you find the help you need because it's like it's God helping you out, finding other people that are on your wavelength. And if you're finding that you're not around people on your wavelength, you're not in the right crowd, you know what I mean? And it's why I feel, you know, at some point this is going to get a bit busier with people that aren't just twin flames, because there's a lot of people that are wanting a new life, you know what I mean? It's fated. Because look, that was in the book, and then then it was behind it. The fates, yeah, divine feminine. A lot of people are being led to the divine feminines serendipitously. And then milk and honey is behind it, which I always feel is about union. Right. I don't know explaining why. Yeah, I just read that bit. Relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. Oh my God, this is what I've just spoke about too. That divine feminine energy isn't like needy. Divine feminine energy, you're okay on your own. And because you're okay on your own, ironically, you do attract in your match. But only when you can stand strong in that energy. And in my opinion, for a long time, you know, like it's I wouldn't really trust it if something came together in a couple of years, to be honest, with what I've felt with people on this journey and how long I've been on it. Um, you must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask um, for for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask and it is given. Now's the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or a business advisor who's been where you want to go to help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid your prosperity. And again, I help people with that all the time in sessions. Um, it may also be the case that your divas have grown and you're at the position where you can't do it all yourself anymore. Right, so it's exactly what I was saying about emails. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take steps towards your big dream. The perfect people will arrive at the perfect time, so long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. Beautiful. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So, like I said, I am praying and sending healing energy your way if you're coming up against challenging circumstances. But all I can say is if anybody does overstep your boundaries right now, don't automatically go to to be too aggressive or to be nasty about anything, because most of the time there isn't a need to do that. It's just about speaking your voice, being assertive, And like I said, you can't control the other person's reaction, but the majority of the time, like people get the message and it's, but it's really, I just feel it's inevitable that there's going to be quite dramatic interactions this week with this with this full moon that's on Friday, and we're only on Tuesday. No, we're on Wednesday. This is Wednesday now, isn't it? Is it Wednesday? Yes, it's Wednesday. Oh yeah, and also 13 is divine feminine goddess energy, yin. So it's not unlucky. It's divine feminine energy. But yes, sleep well, and I am going to go and get a wee cup of tea, and yeah, and then oh yeah, I actually was just going to catch up with somebody and then get a wee cup of tea and then get to my bed because I didn't sleep with this energy right now. It's quite hard to sleep at night. So um yeah, my body's on American time, so I've just accepted it. But anyway, see you later, guys.